Good morning, fellow Malaysians. This is Matthias Chang once again from Future Fast Forward. The last time I spoke was quite some time. But today I intend to convey a very important message to all of you. But primarily to our beloved Prime Minister Tan Sri Yassin and PN government. What I'm going to say will have far-reaching consequences and implications. Before I start, I want to capture for your attention and everyone in Malaysia what is the issue before us. Okay? Therefore, I want you to focus. Okay? These headlines. Prime Minister and PN government will bring hope and confidence 2020 to 2030 versus and against the death and destruction by the evil trifecta of Anwar Ibrahim, Zahid and Najib, the financial rapists and scumbags of Malaysia. Please have these headlines tattooed in your mind and your brain. And never forget, this is the issue that we are confronting with, not only now, but our future and for our future children and grandchildren. Alright? Okay. Why do I say this? It's because since February, with the dissolution and collapse of the Pakatan Harapan government, a bunch of scumbags, we have seen three insidious, sinister, devious plots by political scumbags and bastards. The first plot was soon after the appointment under the Constitution and the prerogative powers of the Agong of Tan Sri Yassin as the Prime Minister of Malaysia in February, after the collapse, right, on 1st March. And thereafter, on 9th March, a cabinet was established to save this country from the global COVID-19 pandemic. The plot thicken. They bear their ugly fangs for power. And shall utter contempt, disgust, and undermine the office of the Agong. Okay? Straight away, the Prime Minister and the PN government, this is very best. No government is perfect, but this is very best to marshal 300 billion, alright, of stimulus to save this country and all of us from the precipice of destruction. And these scumbags, bastards from Pakatan Harapan, right, did nothing, and keep on saying, we must have the parliament in session to debate what to do for the country. In the meantime, the government did all out to ensure we survive the initial impact of COVID-19. All the programs were publicized to the mass media and social media. Everybody knew what they were getting. Though not a perfect plan, it cannot be a perfect plan, but the government did everything to ensure the majority, most of us will survive. And we did survive. We did overcome all the challenges. We were all hurt without exception. Alright? That came May, on the sitting of Parliament, guess what? Although the PN government won, right, the vote for the approval of the stimulus package, each and every one of those bastard Pakatan Harapan MPs in government voted against. Bear that in mind. 300 billion was given to the people. And these bastards, freaking politicians, false chairman says they are for the people. And yet not one allegation has been shown that the program, the stimulus, was not for the benefit of the government and the people. Everyone benefited. And they voted against. Can you imagine that? A stimulus program to save the country and our business, our life, our survival, our family, our children, was voted against by the bastard Pakatan Harapan MPs. Evil to the very core. Scumbags. Never mind. First betrayal. And yet, we have numbskulls within the supporters, rank and file of Pakatan Harapan, and the cyber troopers of the remnants of Bersatu, the cyber troopers of UMNO, aligned with Najib and Zahid Hamidi, come out, plotting and plotting again against the government. Alright? Yet, the Prime Minister and his government, comprising of senior members of UMNO and PAS and Bersatu, okay, and others, came together to unite, to bury hatchets. Okay? Then what? The process continued. The process continued. Alright? At every turn, all these scumbags who call themselves champions of their race, the Malay, the Chinese Indians, champions of their religion, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, whatever, bear their fangs again to undermine the Agong, office of Agong, and the government. They don't give a shit. Still talking about power. And say there's no legitimacy of the government. The very fact that Parliament approved the stimulus shows their support. No one has condemned the government. No one has condemned the Prime Minister, who stood up against all odds. Right? Within a month, he was faced with an unprecedented crisis. Within a month. And I must say here, right, that I must also congratulate and applaud by the efforts of the Minister of Finance. Fresh from the corporate sector to the deep sea, deep end of a crisis. And he stood the test and did well. Congratulations. But these bastards, these harlots, prostitutes, were not satisfied. They were sharpening their knives to plunge into people who dare sacrifice for the country. And then a big hoo-ha again for the removal of the Speaker of Parliament, who's in his arrogance refused to step down and resign. But his deputy at the 11th hour resigned because the picture was very clear. And the Speaker was removed. Rightly so, because he was a scumbag. And he said in bravado, I did my national duty, as if he makes such a huge sacrifice for being the Speaker of Parliament. It's an honor and a privilege. And he was awarded a times 3, understand? Big fat pay and allowance. Thank God has been removed. Thank God. But you see, can you see the contrast? A bunch of idiots only for themselves, the self-glory, none for the country. They pretend. And then what happens? Sabah election. Okay? There were already new clusters in Sabah and Sarawak. People were sacrificing to make the election success. But that scumbag harlot, Anwar Ibrahim, alright, couldn't accept and was in total raving mad mood, betrayed by Lim Kuan Yin, who said that the next Prime Minister should be shuffled up down, who betrayed his colleague, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, and thought he could, ikan bilis in the fishbone, to swim in the ocean. So what did Anwar Ibrahim do? He and Zahid Hamidi, another ikan bilis, who was the lapdog of Anwar, way back in the 90s, okay, conspired and abused the name of the Anwar to say he is not the Prime Minister. He has the numbers. Najib is not the Prime Minister. The peer government collapsed. He doesn't show any proof. Just like what he did in 2008, right? 2008. He lied. He manipulated. Bravado. And he lost. And they lost the election in Sabah. 3 times they plotted, 3 times they failed. Alright? And Zahid Hamidi, where are you hiding? You said in bravado, in hypocrisy, I will let UMNO decide for themselves. You were plotting with Anwar. Your DNA didn't change, Zahid Hamidi. Since the 90s, when your corruption was exposed by Tun Mahathir, the list of companies you own or control on behalf of yourself and Anwar. And now you want to portray yourself as goody-goody. You've been charged, okay, in court. You're innocent until proven guilty. So fight in court for your innocence. Don't try to plot and seize power, right, to get away from the charge. You prove your innocence in court. Therefore, for 3 times now, my dear fellow Malaysians, these scumbags have plotted and conspired for their own survival, their own political power, and giving a shit about us. They give a shit. So now, my dearest Prime Minister Tan Sri Yassin and your government, months ago I said we can unleash a nuclear weapon against these bastards. I will disclose this nuclear weapon. Don't worry, Tan Sri Yassin. Let them know what is a nuclear weapon. I hope you will implement it. Because whether they do or not, they will die. Do they die? Don't they die? Very simple. Okay? You have deferred the budget, right? And the 12 Malaysia plan to get all the data in. Okay? Last time these bastards, right, voted against your stimulus package. Now let's make it very clear to everyone in Malaysia that these are bastards. They have no care and concern for us. Very simple. Please, Mr. Prime Minister, invite Tun Mahathir, Anwar Ibrahim, Zahid Hamidi, on behalf of Najib, Kisya, Guaning, Masabu. Invite them to have a dialogue with your 4 senior ministers and yourself and the Minister of Finance. Tell them, hey, you scumbags, what have you got? Your proposal, your ideas to save our country, to save our people. Let them come, don't worry. Alright? And we publicize, and please publicize all their proposals. And if they're good, incorporate into the budget. You know why? So that the whole country will know what they have done or have not done. And this proposal, if you incorporate the budget, I dare these scumbags in Parliament in November when you present the budget for them to oppose the budget. Understand? You know? Make them an offer they can't refuse. These are bastards. They're mafias. Political mafias. So we make them an offer. You have nothing to lose. Tan Sri Yassin, this is the first nuclear weapon you unleash on them. If they vote against your budget, you don't have to dissolve Parliament. You don't have to. But assume you have to. Very, very simple. We need one call to the whole country. Hey, these bastards voted against the budget and forced election at the expense of your livelihood, your welfare, and political stability. These are the bastards. Anwar, Kisyang, Guan Eng, Masamu, all of them. If they vote against budget, very clear, isn't it? Alright? Whether they put their self-interest first and force the issue of a general election. By all means, Tan Sri, have faith in Allah. Because if they do that, I can assure you, you will have a victory, 2/3 majority. Even UMNO members will rebel against Zahid and Najib because they have been shown and exposed as scumbags, political harlots, understand? And assuming, not that they will, assuming they pass the budget, they will also die because then they have admitted that you were right, Tan Sri. The PN government was right to focus on the welfare and future of Malaysia, not political power. We can do that in this election, right? By 2023. So there's no hurry, Tan Sri, for you to go to the next election. Your priority, to save this country, right? Save our nation and lay down a future for our country. And let's see whether the scumbags, the Anwar and Zahid, okay? Lim Guan Eng, Lim Kit Siang. Now to the Chinese community, I'm sick and fed of you people, okay? Despite these plots, and despite the hard work by the Prime Minister to save your business, you you support Lim Guan Eng, you support Kit Siang, you support Anwar, or Reformasi, did nothing. And all of you, many of you have come to me and asked me, Matthias, give ideas, save us. You didn't lift a freaking finger. You got your fucking money, and you support these scumbag bastards, right? And if by the voter, coming vote on the budget in November, you support those bastards, right? In Pakatan Harapan, I will expose all of you, you businessmen, right? I don't care who you are before, whether it's Tun Mahathir or whatever. Now it's different. Time has changed. And don't you dare, having received money from the government, our tax dollars, and still support scumbags. And to our Malay brothers and sisters, Muslim brothers and sisters, alright? Have you not seen enough? They don't give a shit about you. Anwar don't give a shit about you. Masama don't give a shit about you. Guan Eng and Kit Siang, they're the worst. Playing up racial ideas at all. They don't give a shit. So now, to the Malay community, for all intents and purposes, is this not the 100% government? Malay government? Boy, for all intents and purposes. So why do you worry? I'm not worried. I'm a Chinese by descent, a Christian, a minority. But I have full trust and faith in this government. Even if it's 1000% Malay, I have no worry. Why? Because they are fighting every day for our welfare, for our future. Okay? And if you, the Malays, who cried out in pain, the scumbags have destroyed your dignity and self-esteem, you are now in the process of redeeming yourself, regaining your dignity and self-esteem. Why do you allow the scumbags to derail your effort? It can't be done overnight, okay? For sure, I'm asking you. For sure, I'm telling you. Open your eyes. How much more do you want the scumbags to betray you? For the leaders of UMNO, let me tell you, okay? They have betrayed all of you. UMNO says they have 3 million members. UMNO says they jaga for you. Race, culture, and religion. UMNO is a huge multi-billion-dollar organization, a big with a political cover. Ask yourself, all these years, the money that you received, scholarship, bailouts, stimulus, were from taxpayers' money. Okay, right? Ask yourself, when has UMNO, who has received billions of dollars, ringgit, right, over the years, offered scholarship to its members? improve his livelihood to his members on his own money. Collect money, fair or foul means, okay? Billions. And the top elites of UMNO have been made nominees of corporations to fatten their pockets and to fatten the UMNO elites. They give a shit about you? For heaven's sake, don't say, we owe to UMNO. They did good by us. No, they did not. They used the government and misled you thinking that, right? You owe them a favor. But they owe you a greater favor because without you, they won't be in power. But they abuse their power for self-enrichment, self-empowerment, for power, nothing else. You need better leaders. It's the Malay leaders that betrayed the Malays. And these Malay leaders are supported what? Opportunistic. Non-Malays, Chinese are comprados and hangers-on. Like Kit Siang, Guan Yin, and other businessmen who has a lot of Tan Swiss in front of them. They are comprados. Okay. They donate, okay, for power, for self-enrichment. They are parasitic. So do me a favor, my fellow Muslims and Malay brothers and sisters. I'm going to be very frank with you. Okay? Wake up. And if this country is destroyed, don't blame anybody else but yourself. There are some troopers overseas, especially and locally, right? Keep on playing the regional card, the Islamic card. Okay? Divert your attention from the money they received, the bag of silver, right? For the betrayal. To cloud your mind, arouse you, incite you. Alright? But they know very well, right? The Malay leaders themselves have betrayed you. Tell me now, of the 3 plots since February. By who? By Malay leaders. With these Chinese leaders as hangers-on, okay? Parasitic. Do you want that anymore? Do you want that anymore? Alright? Look at Middle East. The Arab leaders, the kings. All this while, they say we fight for Palestine, fight for Islam, against Israel. And I warned you many times before. More Muslims are killed by fellow Muslims by this bastards in the Middle East than anybody else. Financed by who? The Zionist, Anglo-Zionist American deep state. And today you see, alright, every Muslim state will now sign peace treaty with Israel. Understand? Wake up! Are you blind? Are you wearing blinkers? So who's betraying Islam? Who's betraying Islam? Muslim leaders turning their backs, right? And washing their hands. Because why? Because they want to survive. Protected by the deep state. The Zionist Anglo-American deep state. And more importantly, the British intelligence services. They are bastards, you know. Now, I warn you, don't think for one moment startup reports do you any favor. Right? Najib has been charged with 1 MDB, right? There's a court process going on. And she keep on harping on 1 MDB, okay? Alright? It's in the court's hands already. New process is gone. Why? I'm telling you why. Okay? To create division and humiliation against you Malays. Keep on rubbing in. Ask yourself, right? Why would a Masalay woman, alright, brother-in-law was a freaking Prime Minister of UK, be so vocal about something in Malaysia? Huh? And ikan bilis in the fishbowl, stirring shit. We know how to handle Najib. We know how to handle Zahid. We know how to handle Anwar. Don't tell us what to do, okay? Right? Don't tell us. We know. So be careful, what are you? Especially the Indians, the Punjabis. Okay, and some Chinese, stop your nonsense as if she is like Joan of Arc. She's nothing. Ikan bilis. Insulting, alright? Najib is the past. Let the court decide. We move on. Right? The court will decide the fate. Already convicted Najib. Start facing trial. Why can't we move on? Because she wants you, Sarah report, and the powers behind her to divert your attention. So that there is this unity among the Malays and the Muslims, understand? Just as the freaking British bastards are dividing the Muslims in the Middle East. And they'll divide the Muslims in this country. And who benefits? Us? The citizens? No! Bastards! Right? Who have their own agenda for Southeast Asia. They want the war to take place in our region. Okay? And then what happens? Islam will be weakened, the Muslim will be weakened. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Tell me, other than myself, which political leaders I don't care for? AMLO, PAS, MCA, alright? DAP, PKR, they say what I say. They give you all kind of, sweet talk, okay, and talk cock and bull, okay. But none of them dare admit they're scumbags. And thank God, Pakatan Harapan has collapsed. And I pray every day that 2020 and before 2023 election, we will bury Pakatan Harapan for good. We will bury DAP for good. And bury Lim Kit Siang, Lim Guan Eng, and the whole bunch. Because they will never be sincere. Okay? Never. Like I said, and I hope Tun Mahathir will learn his lesson. Allah gave him a chance, first time, 22 years. He achieved success. No doubt about it. He was given a second chance. And he screwed up. And he demanded a third chance. But Allah decided, right, no more. You're 95 years old, retire and do other things. Okay. Promote peace. As he did after his retirement in 2003. And I was there with him, helping him. But he cocked it up. So now, this is the last chance for him to redeem himself in the eyes of Allah. If he defy Allah, and Anwar defy Allah, Zahid defy Allah, you see what happens. If you are Muslims, you believe in God, as I do, then please, don't take me and my words as if it's rubbish. I meditate every day, I pray. And so far, my prayers have been answered. And I'll read once more before I conclude. Najib will never be the Prime Minister again. No way. No way. Tun Mahathir will never be the Prime Minister again. No way. Anwar will never be a Prime Minister. Don't talk about again. No way. He's a chameleon. A rotten core to the core. Rotten. Financial rapist and plunderer of our country. And then, I also said to you, evil always comes in threes, right? That's what you call the triangulation. So in our country now, we are facing a very evil in the form of Anwar Ibrahim, Zahid Hamidi, and Najib Razak. To my Prime Minister, no fear, have no fear. Don't worry about the number games. It's not doing numbers. Zahid playing the number game to distract you. It's a game of desperation and bankruptcy. You have all the power, all the prestige, and all the love of the Malaysian people for you, to support you in your efforts to save our country. So therefore, before you call it election, right, and before the next budget, And I know it will be an incredible budget. Your finance minister has done very well. Despite assholes criticizing behind his back, he's done very well. And I congratulate him for his work done. Not easy. As a finance minister, straight away into a global mess, unprecedented. And scumbags who can't even manage a company wants to condemn him. No way. So, to sum up, Mr. Prime Minister, unleash the nuclear weapon on Pakatan Harapan, alright, and the remnants of the boss coup, Najib remnants in UMNO. Wipe them out completely. Because the rank and file of UMNO, of Barisan Nasional, must wake up to see the truth. And you are given the opportunity by Allah to lead this country. Forget about everything. Have full faith in Allah. Alright? He tested you. You were very sick. You recovered. That is a test. You took on the bulls by the horn and you led this country. That is a remarkable achievement. Have that faith. Be strong as you are, as you can be. And for once in a lifetime, alright, for once, let's show to the whole world the light of Allah shines for us. We'll be the beacon of hope in this area, starting with this ASEAN region. More Muslims are there in this part of the world than anywhere in the world. We show our way. We show the path, and we will succeed. And put paid nonsense, alright, or Islamophobia. Then they're now promoting all kinds of phobias, okay? We will win. So, Mr. Prime Minister, Sir, Tan Sri, please consider my advice. Invite the scumbags to have a dialogue with you. Eat humble pie, never mind. Alright? Come on, Tan Sri. Right? All these people, you know, all these big boss in Pakatan Harapan. Tu Mahathir, Anwar Ibrahim, Zahid, okay, Basabu, Kisiang. Tell us how you're going to serve the country. We don't mind. Alright? We'll put it in the budget. And then dare them, these bastards, dare them to vote against the budget. That's the surest way you get two-thirds. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Because then, they have bared their fangs, they showed their ugliness, their shit, they're bloody asshole to the whole world. They are useless. Right? They don't believe what they say, they talk cock. And we'll bury them in the election. You know what's the headlines? Anwar Ibrahim, Kit Siang, Guan Eng, Masabu, traitors to the country. Traitors. Let's see what happens. You win by landslide. And I will assure you, I give you my word till I die. If any Chinese bastards, China Kuwait, still support Pakatan Harapan, despite your effort, I will go after them. Don't worry. I know how to handle them. Okay? They're not a threat to you. They won't be a threat to you. Right? It's people like Kit Siang and Guan Eng, you know, stir shit and project themselves a power and aura they don't have. It's all noise. And I will deal with them directly. To the Malays, please. If the Chinese community give problems, right, ignore them. I will handle it. I will expose each one of them by name. I'm telling you by name. And no way to hide. Because you can't, on one hand, ask for help, financial aid, and then put a dagger behind your back. Is that the way we treat us? We smash them, no quarters given. Okay? And therefore, to conclude, I will say to you, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, our Prime Minister, PN government, I have shaved my head bald. I give you my covenant. I'll keep bald until 2023 election. Right? As a small sacrifice to show that I'm prepared to inflict on myself baldness to ensure you will win. To ensure the exposure of traitors. With that, I was going to say to you and remind you, right? Surrender unconditionally to Allah. Have full faith, confidence that He will protect us, defend us, and guide us in every way whatsoever. Utamakan Allah, bukan trifecta. Anwar Ibrahim, Zahid Hamidi, and Najib. Remember, utamakan Allah, bukan trifecta. With that, I thank you for your attention, and please make this statement viral. God bless you all and have a good day.